Hello, in this video we'll show you how to make an advent calendar using Keynote on iPad. So first thing we have is our first slide, and the first thing we'll do is add a background to our slide. So up to the format brush, click on background, click on image, and I've got some images saved, so I'm going to choose change image. Got a wee folder, so I'll insert from, and there is my little picture that I like as my background. And there is my background for my advent calendar. Now we'll come back to the first page in just a second. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to add all the different days of Advent. So to do that, we'll add a new slide, and I'll just make it a plain blank slide. And on here I want to have a number to say what day it is. I want to have a button to take me back to the first page, add any space to put anything I want in there, whether it be a picture, a joke, or it could be a movie, it could be anything you feel is festive enough. So we'll just quickly add a few things. So the first thing we'll add is a piece of text. I'll put a number 1 in there, and we'll change its size so it's much bigger. So format, we'll make that something like 500, so it's nice and big. Change the font while we're here as well, so I'll choose Georgia, and you could change the colour if you so wish, but I'll just pop this across here just now. I also want to add a little button to take me back to my first page, so I know back in my shapes, if I was to search for a house, there's one that appears that I quite like. You could search for other things. I'm going to pop that down here, make it a bit bigger, and I'm using the yellow guidelines to make sure these are all centered. That looks quite nice, and I can tap on that, move along to link, and link this to a slide. I want it to go to slide number 1. So now I have my home button, which is going to link back to the first page, and I've got a slide that's got my number 1 on there. At this point you might want to add what's going to be on your first slides. So that's my first slide. Once I've done this, I can duplicate my slide to do number 2. And the nice thing about duplicating it is that all these things stay in the same position and all the links work, so you can go back and perhaps put a different message in number 2. Something like that. Now you can spend as much time as you want putting anything you want on your slides, but I've got a couple of slides here, and I would keep repeating this process until I've got all the days that I want. Once you've done that, go back to your first page, and we're going to insert a shape. And I'm going to just choose a square. There's my square here, and inside my square I'm going to add in some text. And put a number 1, and I'm going to change that text so it's much bigger as well. So let's make that something like 150. There we go. So there's my square, there's my door. I'll leave it like that. You'll position it on your slide where you want it to go. I think that looks about right. But I'd quite like to be able to see through my square, so I think what I'll do is I shall make my square just a little bit transparent. So if I go up to my format, in style, I can either say make the fill make have no fill, or I could go to tell it to make it just a bit more transparent by reducing the opacity just a little bit so you can still kind of see through it. And I think I'll do that. So there's number 1, and again the same thing, we're going to link this to our next slide. So we'll click on it, move along to link, and tell this it's going to go to link to slide, And if you have a look here, slide number 2 is my first day. So I'm going to click here and click away. Now I've got one, I can duplicate this as well. So copy and then paste. And then I can move this up, put my next number in here, which is number 2. And then I can change the link. Link settings. Instead of going to slide number 2, it's going to go to slide number 3 where it says season greetings. Click it like that and move back. So now when we go to present it, you will see we've got our advent calendar, and when I click on a button it takes me here, click on the home button, it takes me back, like so. But what you will notice is if you click anywhere else in here, it will just move through your slides one at a time. So let's stop that. So in order to stop it flicking through each slide one at a time, we can go up to our 3 dots. We can go down to settings, go to presentation type, and click on links only, which means it will only work when you click on the links that are there. So now when we go in preview, doesn't matter where we click, it doesn't move forward unless I click on a link. It takes me back. Of course you can add transitions, you could add animations, you could add movies, you could add videos, add whatever you feel is festive, and that's how you make a simple Keynote advent calendar. Looking forward to see how you get on.